Hey, this is Frank Nieto with Vision Quest Auto. Today, we're going to be reviewing the 2024 Kia Sportage plug-in hybrid X-Line Prestige. All that means is that this is the top of the line Kia Sportage with a plug-in option. Plug-in hybrids aren't as popular as EVs, but they are catching up a little bit more. We're seeing them come back into the market after they took a little bit of a tumble the past few years, out of the market. There weren't as many manufacturers focusing on them. We're also going to go through our rankings this week and our ratings and score this in different ways with Vision Quest Auto. And we're going to talk about some of the things I like about this car, some of the things I don't like. I'm going to walk you through this car, and I'm going to give you some driving impressions. So let's get to it. From the center, it's got this kind of fairly innocuous, pretty cool looking grille that fits in with most other Kias. But when you come over to the headlights, you've got these double L's, or less than and greater than signs come together to make an X. I guess if you're looking at it that way, it's kind of cool. It's trying to say it's an X factor. To me, I'm not a big fan. I think that these headlights are just trying to do too much. The grille's just trying to do too much. Kind of misses the mark. I think it's trying to do what we've seen Toyotas do over the years. Their grilles are pretty aggressive the last decade or so, but this one really goes above and beyond. In a lot of ways, it's also kind of the alternative to Hyundai, which has a more standardized look, if you will, whereas Kia is definitely trying to go in a different direction for sure, starting with this logo too. That's another kind of controversial element. Kind of looks like it's 9 Inch Nails logo to me. Not a big fan. It's hard to really make out what this is. It looks like it's a V, K, and then I, A, but it's actually just a Kia. Not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of the headlights. Grille's not bad, aside from those two massive things. This color, this is called jungle green. The wheels are nice. I like this accent down here. That's cool. Like this up here. That's actually a nice little feature. Over here is the gas can. The tail isn't bad. The tail lights aren't bad. They're not as over the top as the headlights. You still have that logo. The Sportage lettering isn't bad. Here's where I start to get an issue, and I'll talk about this more in the interior, but it's that Kia's got just look at this back end here, and you're seeing, this is an issue that I have in the interior as well. There's 3 different fonts. So X, again, that's if you look at it, that's the tail lights. They're turned sideways, so they do form an X. Kind of cool feature if you look at it from that point. But it's got the scripting. That's one logo. That's one font. Kia, completely different font. And then the Sportage, yet another font. It's a little too much for me. A little too much. I do like that they put the electric charger over on this side. That's cool. The electric charge port right on this side over here. Nice. It's nice that it's not up in the front and in the back. It's nice that they're both in the back. I wish that there was a way to unlock the back doors with the keyless entry, but these are just handles with nothing. You do have this button to unlock it from the front doors. Nothing wrong with it. It's just something I'm not a big fan of. I'm going to take a look inside here. Now, one thing I do like when you open this up is that it's got, this is actually where it starts to, and again, it kind of goes off, it goes back and forth with itself here. But this is really nice. This is not wood, but it feels like wood. It looks like wood. It's pretty nice. Vinyl, it feels like leather is cool. It's in different shapes here. This is all soft touch, nice clear plastic. It's decent. This is a nice interior design on the door. I also like this little touch, just so you don't accidentally hit anything when you're driving. Kind of cool. It's got a Harman Kardon sound system. This is a nice, looking vent. Again, trying to do things, not over the top. Nice steering wheel. Nice, seats. Very comfortable. I'm going to turn this on. And here's the start button. Again, no issue with that. not an issue at all. The thing I don't like, you know, this shifter, but it is what it is. You know, a lot more and more auto manufacturers are doing this. You know, they're going with these dials, and that's fine. I'm not, you know, I'm not going to argue with it. It is what it is, especially in this class. I mean, hey, what are you going to do? It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's fine. Easy to touch, easy to find. You know, your vented seats and your heated seats, your heated steering wheel, very nice to touch. All of this is touch screen. It's also got a couple of physical controls and knobs, you know, digital gauges. Now, here's a thing that I don't like, that if you, again, you know, I mentioned in the back, it's another thing where you've got 3 different fonts. And the way that I look at this isn't so much the fonts match. The fonts themselves match. What it is that it's the numerical fonts are in different ways. So this number here is, you see it is, it's the same font. It's fine, it's futuristic. This kind of should go into another futuristic way where it's doing this 80s futuristic digital, pure digital look. I don't mind that. I think that's nice. I don't like that it's right up against this one, but you know, that's fine. You know, some people may like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with 2 of them. The issue I have is when you're driving, this comes up with yet another font, another numerical font, and it's the standardized version that you see on roads. And I understand this is because it's mirroring what you're seeing, but it's a lot. It's over the top to me. There's just too many design things going on with this car. It's you know, is this a massive deal? No. But I'm not going to want to own this because just me personally, because that would bug me. May not bug you. I think there's too much going on. I think it's a little busy. And I think that's kind of Kia's style. It's a pretty big, you know, display. It has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It's got everything that you expect with your car. Here's something that is my Chris Farley Fat Guy and Little Coat Award, and it goes to this. So, yeah, wireless charging pad, that's nice, okay. You don't have wireless CarPlay, okay, not the worst thing in the world, it happens. Here's my issue. You have a USB-C port, you have a USB-A port. USB-C is for strictly charging. This is 2024. If you're going to do phone projection that has to use a cord, it really should be USB-C or both. Like, I don't understand this. This is something that Kia Hyundai does a lot. And it blows my mind. Again, it's not the biggest deal, but like I had to scramble around to find a USB-A to USB-C cord. Yeah, if this is your car, you're going to have that cord. It's going to be in here. It is kind of a pain. So that's my Fat Guy and Little Coat Award. And we're going to come around here to the back. So again, this is kind of cool. They've kept the wood, that fake wood accent back here. You could say that this, by the way, these door handles are slightly over the top. I actually like them. I think they work. They're nice and big buckles. I think they look distinctive. I like that. I appreciate that they kept that there. This has got a lot of backroom space, and the second row is really well thought out. In a lot of ways, I think that this is where Kia really competes well with the CR-V and the RAV4 is with the second row space. It's along the same lines. This also, both of these seats are independent of each other. They can lean back, they can go forward. So that's pretty cool too. Does a good job there. This is a little holder for tablets, which is a nice thought for, when you've got a family and you're on a road trip. Kids can put the tablets up there to watch their movies. It's a little hook for, can either be for bags, or any other devices. So nice thought out thing there. I do want to point out there are USB-C charging ports on the rear seats on the side. Again, nicely thought out, but there are no second row climate controls. You do have vents, but no climate controls, so can't see that one. So it's minor, but it is the John Cena You Can't See Me Award. All right, we're gonna come around here to One of the things is actually a really standout feature on the Sportage, and that is the cargo space. This is pretty massive. Again, this competes very well with the CR-V, the RAV4. Another nice feature here is that you can drop these seats right with this trigger. So that's cool. I'm going to show you right there. Boom, done. You know, nice. You don't have to go up to open up those doors in the back. You get back here, you need to put something big in, you can just lower it from the cargo area. So that's nice. It's got a charger here, 12-volt charger. You know, well thought out design, nothing fancy, but it's thought out well, and I think that's good. I think that this car has a really smooth ride, very capable handling. It doesn't do anything wrong. Like, it doesn't jostle, it doesn't feel athletic, but it's not bad. You can have some fun in this car, but this is a very straightforward level car. Not a whole lot of power, but it doesn't lack for power. This is in to borrow some phrasing from Stone Cold Steve Austin, this is a good hand to have. You know, this is one of those guys where, you know, every wrestling organization, every pro sports team, every TV show, every movie, every organization, you know, with work, needs that person that can really just do a good job. You can put them wherever, in every different kind of categories you want, different situations, and they're just going to go out there. They're either going to have a good match, they're going to have a good game, they're going to be able to just fit in well with people. But they're not going to be the star of the show, and they're not really going to take the gold medal in any one category, but they're going to do a solid job no matter where you put them. That's how I look at this. This is a very solid hand, doesn't miss the mark, really solid car, but it's not going to stand out in any one real way. But it's a good car, it gets good mileage. This is a really solid car, and honestly, you want that car that's just going to be very solid across the board for this class. That's what Honda does so well, that's what Toyota does so well in this class, is they're just very much, they don't stand out in any one way because they're appealing to the most buyers. There are people who are going to want a little bit of athleticism, some people who want it to just be efficient, some people who don't want it to be jostling around, etc., etc. And for those people, this car does the job really, really well. And that's what this is aiming for, and that's what this car does. So this car is closing in by, in many ways, not to be mean, but by being kind of boring. When it comes to what song this car is, this is one that I'm picking for two reasons. So bear with me here. The song that I'm picking is The Long and Winding Road by the Beatles. Now, the reason I'm picking that first is, of course, you look at it, Long and Winding Road. This has been a long and winding road for Kia Hyundai to get to a place where they feel that they can really compete with Honda and Toyota. You know, Honda, Toyota have had decades more experience in the U.S. market. They've gotten a lot of buyer loyalty. And so Kia's been trying to make that same thing. Over the past 30 plus years or so, they've been building up their name, getting their own brand loyalty. And it feels like this is a time now where it's not outlandish to say Kia is on the same level as Toyota and Honda. That may not be the case, but it doesn't seem to be over the top to say such a thing, right? So that's not bad. So it's a long and winding road that they've been here. But the real reason why I'm picking that song, though, is, and it's the original version on the Let It Be album. And the reason why I'm picking that is because Paul McCartney said that song was overproduced, that, you know, it was Phil Spector went in, and it was after the Beatles had broken up. They just said, hey, make something out of this album. And he did. I actually don't mind his version. I think it's good. But Paul McCartney's always hated it because it's got that orchestra, it's a little over the top, it's got the violins, it's not what he wanted that song to be. And in a lot of ways, I see the same thing with this car, that there's just one or two too many design faults, if you will. And it's strictly with looks. Like, from performance-wise, field-wise, usability-wise, fantastic car. But when I'm looking at it from just looks, it bugs me. Same way that I'm sure that every time that Paul McCartney hears that song, he's like, that's not the song that I want it to make. And so it's overproduced, and this is overproduced too. So long and winding road, that's this car. I want to thank you for watching. Hope you found this video enjoyable and useful. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. For Vision Quest Auto, this is Frank Nieto. I'll see you around.